Well, good morning. It's April 1st, 2020, and this is the final segment for Chapter 9, Data Analytics and Accounting. Previously, we looked at data analytics using Excel. We created tables. We also looked at the use of the pivot table, and we looked at the Power Pivot. Today, we're going to move out of Excel and look at a specific application called Tableau. Now, you can get Tableau for free as a trial version. So you can come to tableau.com, click Try Now, download the trial version and install it so that you can practice with this yourself. I would recommend that. Once you have it installed and you click on it to open it up, this is what the dashboard will look like. You've got your ribbon up here, File Data Server Help. This area here is what you can connect to. This area over here is for learning. Here, there's sample data books that are available, and then anything that you're working with will show up here. So you can click on Open a Workbook. Well, I don't want to open this. This I was already practicing with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to Microsoft Excel. Now we're going to pick our file that we want to work with. It's going to open up a view where we can begin to build what it is we want to work on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select over here, these are the different sheets that are available inside of your Excel workbook. So I'm going to bring over states and divisions. It's going to link them together, and right now there isn't enough. That exclamation point gives us kind of an error, so we need to go ahead and create the link. So we want to link division. You've got a couple of different choices. We want to do equals division number. And now we know we've got good data here to work with. So we're good. What we're able to do from here is we can go to sheet 1 now. What we have here is dimensions. These are your non-quantitative variables. Here are your measures. These are your quantitative variables. You've got an area where you can set up columns, an area where you can set up rows, plus you can drop fields here. So you've got a number of ways of working with this. You can set up different pages. Okay. You can also work with filters, similar to Excel and what we saw with tables. And then you've got this here, an area. This is kind of a work area, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So first, what I want to do is pull over division name. I want to work with these. These are called pills, and so we can pull this pill over to rows and put our division names here. Okay. And again, you can kind of work with this if you want to, and open it up so you can see it more fully. Right now we don't have anything else here, but remember we created that calculated field. And so if we want to, we can work with a calculated field. We can create a field. So we can do analysis, create a calculated field. It's going to open up a dialog box for us. We can call it PCT percent change in engine births. Okay. Then we come down here and we can kind of set up our formula that we would like to use. And so again, very similar to what we used in Excel. Minus open bracket it's giving me a little bit of an issue here. There, okay. Oh. Yeah, well, sometimes this happens. With some issues, it just wasn't working right. So let's try this again. We're going to open parentheses. Oops. Open parentheses. Then we're going to use the open bracket. I'm not sure why it's doing that to me. Seems to be wanting to add a space and automatically giving me an error. Birth 2015 minus birth 2010, and then close, divide by birth 2010. So this tells us the calculation is valid. So we have births 2015 minus births 2010 divided by births 2010. That gives us our percentage change. So we can go ahead and click OK. We've now got our percentage change of births here. What we're going to do with this pill is we're going to pull it over here into the marks area. Now, right now it's doing a sum. We don't want it to do a sum, so we go to click on the down arrow, come down to measure. We want to change it to average. The other thing we want to do is click here and we want to select text. And so now we have our numbers. So we've got our division name and we've got our changes here. Okay. So what can we do with this? Well, that was how easy it was to do what we were doing in Excel. There's a lot fewer steps involved. If you click on Show Me, you can look at it visually if you want to. Okay. And you can see that it sets up a chart. And you can do different things with the chart here. I'm going to go back to the data view here. You can change the name up here, edit the title, opens up a dialog box, and we can call it something different. We can call this percent change in births. You can bold it if you want to, so select it and bold it. Click OK, and now we've changed the title of this. Notice you can highlight over these as you float. It gives you each individual one. You can format these numbers, so if you wanted to change any of the formatting, you could. If you look at this, you can select percentage and it changes it to the percentage view, and so you can take a look at it that way. So quite a neat tool. What else can you do with it? Well, I'm going to close that out. Another thing that we can do is we can take a look at a chart. You can add a chart to it. Show Me. Okay. And so if you want to look at a bar chart, you can do that. And again, this is kind of awkward to look at it this way. And so you can make some changes if you want to. Click in this area, edit the axis. The box will pop up. You can go ahead and select Start and say you wanted to start at 2.5. and so this kind of shrinks everything up so you can see it better. The other thing you might want to do is change the formatting on this. And so and change it to percentage. And so now it looks very similar to other charts that we've created. You can expand that a little bit and pull that out so you can see it better. And again, you can also, in editing the axis, you also know what the maximum value is going to be. And so if you wanted to adjust this, you could. I don't necessarily see a reason to do that right now, but again, so that allows you to see that. You can, this here is the back button, so you can go back as much as you want to back to your original data here, and then just click on the X close and you're back here. And so this is kind of a neat tool. You have to kind of get in there and play around with it. You can build dashboards and presentations. That's what a lot of companies do with this. They use it to build dashboards. You have a lot of choices in terms of visuals. Because this is geographic, you could actually bring in a map. You could use a map of the United States, similar to what they're looking at with the coronavirus. So if I was to say File, Close. No, I don't want to save any changes to that. We've got a sample that we can open up. So here they're showing you population and birth rate for 2012. And so they use colored circles to indicate this is the magnitude here. So you can kind of see visually where different countries are in terms of birth rates. And so India has a 2.1% birth rate. China has a 1.2% birth rate with a population of over 1 billion people, almost 1.5 billion people. Compare that to Nigeria with a population of 38.5 million. So, and you see here the birth rates are color coded. So you have red is above 3%, gray is 1.5 to 3%, and when you're below 1.5%, it's this blue color here. And so again, it's kind of cool. You can build these yourself and create a neat. And these here are like worksheets, so health indicators. You can look at health indicators again. If you have time and patience, you can kind of build these dashboards. You build these individual worksheets, and then you can set up individual dashboards. So, and here's an example of a dashboard. They've kind of integrated it all into a presentation that someone can kind of click through. So this is a very powerful tool. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it and to learn how to work with data in it. So I recommend that you guys download the trial version, install it. I'll make sure that the data file is available to you through GeorgiaView, so that you can download the data file and kind of go in there and play around with it and see if you can duplicate just a little bit that I did, and see at least this way you can get in there and begin to use it. Again, I would say you need to invest a little bit of time into learning how to use a new tool and use the training videos that come with it to get more comfortable with it. So, at any rate, This kind of closes us up on Chapter 9 in terms of lecture material. We'll have some an assignment, a data analytic assignment that I'm going to be launching. I've been just waiting to do that until folks are finished with their project or getting close to being finished with their project, and then we'll get onto a data analytic assignment that you'll work on. So anyway, sorry, my voice is a little scratchy. I've had allergies, and so I've been feeling a bit under the weather. So I appreciate you bearing with me through these videos. They're probably a little on the boring side, mostly because I'm just kind of feeling a little under the weather. So, but I appreciate your patience and attention. Hopefully you've learned a little bit, and I will talk with you later.